In the year 1075, in the Basilica of St. Peter and Moses in the town of Selene, representative of Pope Gregory VII, Abbot Gabizon, crowns Dimitar Zvonimir as King of Croatia with an all-new crown. The coronation with the new crown is interesting. The background of Zvonimir's succession is unknown. We are still not sure about his relationship to his predecessors. The old crown might have just been lost with Peter Kresimir's capture, but receiving the new crown from the Pope was a sign of shifting policies in the realm and in Europe at large. It is clear that Zvonimir required strong legitimacy for his rule, so he turned to the Pope. Before the start of his reign, Zvonimir ruled the region between the rivers of Sava and Drava on the border with Hungary. He also married Princess Helena Arpad of the Hungarian royal line, forging an alliance. This came into effect in the 1060s when Ulrich, the Margrave of Istria and Carinthia, advanced into the Croatian northwest until he was pushed out by armies of the Croatian and Hungarian nobility. We presume that with the alliance Zvonimir became one of the strongest nobles in the kingdom. Upon his succession to the throne, Zvonimir continued the land donations to the church, the most famous one being the donation to the monastery of St. Lucia on the island of Krk, written on one of the most important stone documents in Old Croatian and Glagolic writing. During his reign we also see a flood of new titles and nobles, as Zvonimir gives out royal land to be administered. This nobility that was given the lands by Zvonimir, if not by his predecessors, very likely became the great noble families of later medieval Croatia. In 1089, after a presumably stable reign, Zvonimir died. The legend goes that he was killed by Croatian nobility when he demanded that they join him in a campaign to help Byzantium against the Seljuks. As he died, he cursed that Croatia will never again have a ruler of its own blood. The story itself was created at least 3 centuries later, but the killing in some form of conspiracy or noble rebellion is not impossible. It's very possible that the nobility grew mightier than the crown. The original story does carry the aura of protection of noble privileges, one of them being that nobility is not obliged to join in an aggressive war with their liege, they are only obliged to defend the kingdom. It is also possible that the conspiracy originated in the court of the Hungarian king, considering the events that followed. Zvonimir was succeeded by Stephen III, nephew of Peter Kresimir IV, who was very physically and probably mentally ill. He was dragged out of a monastery to assume the throne. At the same time another pretender rose and presumably quickly fell. A King Slavac, he was probably some nobleman who contended for the crown. In 1091 Stephen III died, and the vultures gathered.